So last week I shared on Instagram our patio garden, how it was under a lot of snow, but the kale was still sticking out there. We have a small greenhouse, and fortunately the top had flown off in one of the storms, and I didn't notice that because, well, I haven't been able to go out on the patio because of all the snow. So I assumed everything had died in there. I finally got the top back on, and I was really pleasant today when I went outside to see. First of all, the snow is gone. And it's actually been pretty warm. It's +5 Celsius. It seems so funny because when we lived in San Diego, the last months we lived in San Diego was like unusually cold, and we had 5 Celsius in the morning. And I remember like sitting in the car like, ooh, so cold. And now we're like, ooh, it's warm. Anyway, when I went out to the garden, I noticed not only are things actually growing in the greenhouse, which is really exciting, but also the kale is doing really, really well. And actually, I even saw some potatoes growing. Now, of course, snow is gonna come back. It's gonna get colder again. But we have now finally start planting our seeds. I'm so excited because when we lived in San Diego, everything is a little bit upside down. So the best growing time, we grew food all year round. But the time when we grew our seeds, planted our seeds, and actually got all the plants and grew the majority of our food was actually from October to May. And here, of course, it's opposite. We are just starting with our seeds, and hopefully we get them out in April or May, depending on the weather. Obviously, we do not put any plants out until last chance of frost. Obviously, I don't have a garden anymore. I have a patio. We also have, and I want to give a tour of this and show you guys because this is really amazing. We grow with our neighbors. We grow a lot of food in between. So there are like 3 buildings here, so creating like a little square. And we grow a lot of food, actually potatoes and onions and garlics and herbs and flowers, lots of berries and zucchinis and carrots and oh my, I'm gonna be part of the gardening group, and I'm really excited about that because growing with other people is a lot of fun. So what are we growing this year? Yes, so we are growing 2 kinds of lettuce. So lettuce is something we eat a lot of, so we grow a lot of lettuce. We're growing kale, more kale, dino kale, and curly kale we're gonna grow. Kale is something we grow all year round. We're also gonna grow tomatoes, romaine tomatoes, and we're gonna grow cherry tomatoes. The kids really like cherry tomatoes, so we're gonna grow a lot of those. I find the cherry tomatoes make really, really good tomato sauce. So we're gonna grow a lot of tomatoes. So I tend to plant a lot because some of them are obviously not going to make it, and also I can share. I can put it out like I can share if I have too many plants, which generally doesn't happen very often actually. We already have potatoes growing that we didn't get up before the frost came, but we're going to grow more potatoes because potatoes is something we really like to eat. We already planted garlic because you have to plant garlic early, so we planted the garlic, so that's also growing among the potatoes actually. But we also grow actually garlic greens indoors on a windowsill, and that we do because I love garlic greens. So I always plant a couple of cloves that I use just for the herbs sake. So that's the trick because it grows pretty fast and it stays, and you can have it indoors or outside. It doesn't really matter. We're gonna grow herbs. As if you have seen my previous video about herbs, if you haven't, go check it out. We love growing herbs. Herbs is just one of fun thing, especially if you're eating on a budget, because it really can take your food to the next level with some herbs. It adds a lot of flavor, and it's actually very, very healthy. So we're gonna grow parsley, dill, and basil, which is our favorite ones. I think I'm gonna grow cilantro. I always find that cilantro bolts really quickly. But maybe that was in San Diego. We'll see here in Sweden when it's a little cooler. Maybe not. We're gonna grow broccoli. We eat a lot of broccoli. We like to preserve broccoli. I don't think I will be able to grow as much broccoli as I used to. This is about my kids eating healthy. So we're just gonna grow to eat. Cucumbers. We're gonna grow, love cucumbers. Again, can't preserve it, but cucumbers are really fun to grow, something the kids really like to eat and snack. They like to just grab cucumbers and eat it with hummus. And then we're gonna grow bell peppers. Again, something we love to eat, and that you can preserve if I get too many. Radishes. We love radishes because they grow really fast. Really, really like it. We do grow radish, actually microgreens indoors. Again, because they grow fast and they are very colorful and very tasty. But we also like to grow radishes just to eat with our salads. We're gonna actually grow pak choi. We love eating Asian food, and Bella and me, we really like bok choy, so we're gonna grow a lot. And I just find that those are fairly easy to grow. And we're gonna grow beans and eggplants. So first of all, I want to say when you're growing seeds from scratch yes, it's easier and more convenient maybe to go buy the plants. But what I have found is that they sometimes come with diseases. So this way I will know that they will be the healthiest. We use homemade compost, obviously, and we use planting soil. I do not recommend that you take soil from the garden, but planting soil because seeds are very delicate and very sensitive. And they do need not too much compost, and they need to have soil that is well drained. If you are growing like us in Sweden when it's darker, a grow light is preferred. So you've probably seen before, we plant in these milk cartons that we actually upcycle. So we just cut off the top and make some drain holes. This is how I always have grown seeds. I learned this from my great-grandmother who grew them that way. So it works for us. We haven't had a problem, but I'm sure someone's gonna have a problem with us growing like that. I have had it on Instagram. Now I have to say, I get it. It's not for everyone. But I have to say that planting something with seeds is so exciting. And even me as a grown person, I get so excited when they're coming up and waiting. But the kids, oh my God, they think it's really fun. And it's always so exciting to see who spots something first. And then you can see Liam be like, oh, look at that, mommy, we have a bean sprout, and woo, like welcome, more tomato. And they really do care about these. They're like little babies. And they are for me too. I do a little happy dance whenever they come up. So it's really, really exciting. So I really recommend it. And the best part is also that I recommend that when you grow food from scratch, save your seeds. Because these seeds are very beautiful, and it is getting harder to get seeds. I don't know, you noticed during the pandemic, it was really hard to get seeds that didn't come from China. I don't want seeds from there. I don't want any seeds to be manipulated. I want seeds that I know exactly where they come from. So that's something I recommend. You do know that I have a gardening course if you are new to growing. I highly recommend that you take my course. It's an online course. It's super easy. It teaches how to grow food in a garden, on a patio, on a balcony, or even indoors. I have it all. Whenever you grow food, it's the most sustainable way to eat. When you grow your food, you can control how much water you're going to use, and you can make it very water-wise. The factory farm that grows food to the grocery stores, they use a lot of water and they pollute a lot of water. So this way you can actually use less water, and you can actually make your food a lot more water-wise. And we're running out of fresh water, so it's a good reason. Also, you can use compost, you can build your own soil, you can garden zero waste. I even have that in my course, how to garden zero waste. You don't need to use a lot of waste for gardening. That's the whole trick, and just small little tips on how to garden without waste. I think that if you want to actually raise eco-friendly and eco-minded kids, planting a garden or growing something on your windowsill, it's huge. Teaching your kids a life skill, which I think is the most important. And also, it will save you money. Again, it depends on how you garden, of course. But if you garden the way we do, it actually saves a lot of money. So anyway, I hope this video has been helpful. I want to hear what you're growing this year, because it is always fun and exciting. Like I said, this is new for us. Well, let's make it this right. I have grown food, or we have grown food in the cooler, like in Sweden temperature before. So this is not 100% new for us, but this is new growing as much food, and also on a patio, on a balcony, and with our neighbors. But I love being challenged. This is going to be fun, and I think that some food are going to be easier to grow than in San Diego because, like I said, in San Diego we get heat waves. We surely don't get heat waves in the same way here. We do get heat waves, but not the same way. But it rains more here, so we're going to get the natural rain and stuff like that. So anyway, follow along on this. This season's growing. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to keep you updated on what's happening. And until then, I'm going to keep on eating the kale that's still growing in my garden.